Alright, so I was going to make a video dedicated solely to the Glock 43X, new Holster holster, all of that kind of stuff. But if you watched our new review of the Glock 43X, you probably already know that I don't enjoy carrying this gun that much. So instead of doing that, I figured I'd tell you why holster is our favorite holster. Now, if you are familiar with our channel, chances are you're familiar with holster. Alright, no secret about that. But we've had a lot of people join our channel over the past few months, and first of all, I'd like to welcome you guys, all right? Anybody that's been subscribing, anybody that's a patron, whatever your level of engagement with our channel, thank you, all right? And welcome, all right? And a lot of people find our channel from concealed carry videos. So, I figured I'd take this time, even though I don't care for the Glock 43X too much, I figured I'd take this time to show you why I like holster, some of the features about it, and then you can go from there and decide what you want to do. There's a lot of great holster manufacturers, and there's some that aren't so good. All right, so I'm just gonna make the case for holster if you don't already know. If you are familiar with them and you were just waiting on one of the new models to come out, the 43X or the 48, everything still applies. Discount code HEG87, 15% off. Every time you buy one of these holsters, you also support our channel, so it is definitely a win-win. Now, before we get started, I did want to say 51,000 people have visited holster using our link. That is insane. I mean, that's not all purchases, of course, but 51,000 people have visited the site through our link, which is incredible. So one thing that you will not have to do is you do not have to take just our word for it. You can look at their Google reviews, their reviews on their website, and just some of the older videos that we've done on the holsters, and plenty of people in the comments will tell you their experience with these guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, Kydex holsters, or Bolteron is what some of the materials are, especially the carbon fiber ones, which is a little bit stronger than Kydex, by the way. There are a lot of manufacturers of these, and I'm not going to sit here and mention names, but I'll tell you, whenever we first started this channel, first started carrying, one of my goals was to not have a drawer full of holsters, okay? And this was becoming evident even after a few months. I mean, I try one, didn't really like it. Let me try another one. Fortunately, these guys came along very early whenever we started doing YouTube and said, hey, we want to send you a holster. You want to try it? And since then, I really haven't carried a whole lot. I do carry in shoulder holsters sometimes and different things like that. But when it comes to everyday carry, if you meet me, anywhere out in public, I'm 99% of the time going to be carrying a holster. All right. But I didn't want a drawer full of holsters, and I didn't want to have all these different, options, and most of these things I didn't like, because let's be honest, a lot of these things are expensive. It's not like they're $10 and you can just try a bunch of them. So that was my goal, and now I just have a drawer full of the same holster. So, the drawer is still full, but it's not a bunch of different holsters that I don't like. So that's a good thing. But what you'll notice is, like I said, there's a lot of people that make Kydex style holsters, and they are not all built the same. All right, what you're going to find with holster is minimal, comfortable, and gives you a lot of options. All right, so the way these guys originally designed the holster was to be an appendix carry. And what's nice is someone like me that doesn't carry appendix, you can still try to carry this appendix. If it's something you don't want to totally commit to, maybe you have some fluff going around the middle like myself, and appendix may or may not work for you, or whatever the case may be. These are designed to be short enough to do inside the waistband or appendix carry. All right, minimal design all the way around, P365. All right, so what you're going to notice, key features here. All right, you have extra material that's taken away up here, up in here. All right, so you're going to get a full grip when you draw this gun out of the holster. All right, God forbid you ever have to draw it, on somebody, but you have a full grip right from the get-go. You have access to your magazine release. Now, this is sometimes a point of contention for some people. They're like, well, you're going to accidentally bump that thing. I have shown this time and time again, hitting the side of the gun like this, and it has never happened to me. All right, everyday carry, there is not enough pressure. Your skin is not hard enough to actually inadvertently knock this magazine out. I'm not going to say it could never happen, you know, I don't want to speak in absolutes on something like that, but I mean, it's never happened to me, I can tell you that, and I've banged this thing a lot. One cool thing, and you won't find this on a lot of other holsters, especially Kydex or Bolteron style holsters, is the adjustable cant. All right, so as opposed to just carrying it straight up and down, what you can do, and what they did, is you unloosen a screw. Now let's take the SIG out for a second. You unloosen a screw, and now you can take this anywhere from 0 to 15 degrees. And that little bit of adjustment, maybe you want to carry it more where the gun is like this, all right? Or maybe you want to carry it more like this, or maybe just straight up and down works for you. However you want to carry that, you have that little bit of adjustment, and it makes a huge difference when you're carrying, and even for your draw position, all right? So, you know, if you're somebody that, you know, you want to make this your own and make it something that is the absolute most comfortable and most efficient for you to get the gun out of the holster, you can do that with this clip design. Also, it's an 1.5-inch clip, and it's designed to hug the inside of your belt. Of course, I'm going to be showing you guys some video while we're doing this, but that little clip right there hugs the inside of your belt and is very positive, you know, as long as you're wearing the right size belt, which most belts are 1.5 inches anyways. But if this doesn't work for you, you also have the soft looped option, which I personally like for bigger guns. Glock 19 Gen 5, again, you have the soft loops, so that way you can actually, and they're designed where you can actually thumb them easier from the top, and you kind of roll them in like that, all right? And you also have this adjustment, I loosened this up for you guys, you also have this adjustment up and down with the soft loops as well. So if you want the back of the gun to kind of sit down a little bit more, you have that option to do that. All right. So minimal design. Here's a Mmp 45 compact. All right, this is a lot of gun to carry every single day, which I don't do, but the option is there. Now, one thing with their materials is it keeps the sweat off of you. And this is what I really like, because you'll see a lot of holsters and they have extra materials, and you're like, man, that looks really comfortable against your skin. This may be true, but it is going to sweat like a pig, and I can tell you that. I've carried ones with suede, even leather. I don't think I'd do anything with leather inside the waistband, but suede, especially, those types of materials are very popular for inside the waistband carry, but they just cause you to sweat. And down where we are in this kind of a climate in the South, I don't want nothing to do with that. This material does not make you sweat. And it's more flexible than what you think. It's not like when you sit down, this is going to be digging into your side. It is not like that at all. So I like the material. I don't like to sweat. Full sweat shield, by the way. All right, so no part of the gun is really going to touch you. Sometimes with a gun like this, you're going to want to carry or have a undershirt between your skin and the grip, because this grip is very, very rough. So, but that has nothing to do with the holster. Full sweat shield, full sight shield. All right, so your sight is protected all the way down. Let me pull that out. And you have openings down here. All right, so any extra lint buildup, you're going to get some lint in the gun. That's just inevitable. But for a majority of that stuff, it's going to fall right through the bottom. And then one thing you also have is that positive snap. So you know the gun's not going to go anywhere. And one thing you may come across if you use different kinds of holsters, again, a lot of people make Kydex holsters. They think, oh, you can just heat this stuff up. I can buy it off Amazon, and I can make a bunch of money doing this. I can tell you guys from personal experience, I'm going to move the mic here just a little bit. I can tell you from personal experience, I get contacted about holsters a lot. And I've got contacted by certain companies, 6 months later, they're closed down. They've sold all their materials or whatever the case may be, because it's not just as easy as, you know, vacuum forming the stuff and making your own kind of thing. It takes some precision. And this is one thing with holster that it's been kind of at times a little bit aggravating, because I'll be like, hey, you know, guys, you know, hey, can you make a new holster for this X gun coming out? Or can you make a tuckable clip? Because that's something I've wanted for a long time. They will not put out anything that they feel they haven't perfected. And although, you know, if I get a new gun and I want to show a new holster off, or I want to carry that gun, sometimes it can be a little bit like, man, I just want you guys to make this. They will not make it unless it is, first of all, they can fulfill their orders they already have. Second of all, unless they can get you a product that will stand behind their lifetime warranty. They just will not do it. So, you know, as much as it can be aggravating sometimes, you got to respect that, because they're not just pushing out crap. And unfortunately, sometimes you'll run across companies that do put out crap, especially when it comes to Kydex-like holsters. One other thing that you might see, which is a benefit, are the color options. And this is one of my favorite. It goes along with the cryptic, design. And you have the cryptic Yeti, which is the white colored one, and then the cryptic Typhoon. I love this color. I love it on my hats. I love it on shirts. I just love it on everything. And on the holster, it just looks really nice. It's a little bit more money, you know, and Cryptic actually is the only company that has a license for that. So they have to buy the licensed Cryptic, stuff. And you can see Cryptic even in the design there. But love the color combinations. And one other thing you may not think about, we'll show the Glock 43X off here really quick. Some of these things you're going to see, and not holster, but you're going to see on the outside where it looks like the gun. All right, so you have the side serrations, maybe even have takedown notches, maybe have the front serrations. This is something I learned early on with these guys. I said, hey, why do you make it so generic looking? And one thing they don't want to do is create an extra drag point. One of the biggest reasons that they don't do this is because of the premature wear on your slide. Okay, in and out of a holster, you're going to get holster wear to some extent, but they want to keep as much of that drag off of your gun as possible and keep the retention in the trigger guard, which is where it should be. A small little detail, but those little things add up, and that's what you're going to see with these guys, are the little details are figured out. Also, you have a retention screw here. All right, so if it's not tight or if it's too tight for you as far as the snugness, all right, you can adjust that as needed. All right, one extra little benefit with the magazine release, I talked about this in my EDC video last year, is the fact that you can get to this maybe early in the morning. So you put on the gun, you load the gun up, put the gun in the holster, release the magazine, top off a round, put it back in, you're ready to go. And your gun was holstered pretty much the whole time. All right, so that is another benefit of having the magazine release exposed, which I really do like. Full grip, like we said before. And then they also have their universal mag retention devices inside of their mag carriers. So maybe you have a SIG Legion. All right, it's going to work. If it doesn't, you have a retention point back here that you can loosen or tighten up the adjustment on the back of the magazine. All right, H&K VP9SK, that's a little bit snug. If I were to carry it in this magazine carrier, I'd loosen it up just a little bit, but you have that option. And then maybe a Glock mag, I don't know, let's try this one. Or let's try the SIG mag. SIG's kind of in the middle of a single stack and double stack. All right, so that's pretty snug. I'd probably tighten it up a little bit more. But 9 and 40, pretty much all magazines, 45s, 45 single stacks, single stack 9 and 40s. You get the idea. The point is, you don't have to have a magazine carrier for this 9mm and this 9mm. Or if this was in 40 or whatever, you know, you can have one carrier to fit a lot of your guns, which is definitely a good thing. Now, the mag carriers are set up the same way. You can carry them inside the waistband, outside the waistband, however you want to carry them. They have the same rubber bushings there, and they also give you the red Loctite. So once you get this in place, you're going to want to put some Loctite on there to keep the screws and everything. But you also have the adjustability. All right, so if you want the mag more canted that way or this way or whatever, you can can it and fit it to your body style. Now, one thing I don't think I've ever shown off, and I really just need to get a TLR6, is the Mmp Shield Holster with a TLR6, and I'm pretty sure they have the Glock 43 that'll work with the TLR6 as well. Don't quote me on that, but you can go over to the website. I put the link down below, discount code down below. These guys make a great product, and that's, if you're ever wondering why, if anybody ever asks me in the future, I'm probably not going to answer. I'm just going to send you a link to this video. That's why I like Holster. That's why I think these guys make one of the best inside the waistband holsters. Quality, reliable, simple. That's what I like. Again, if you want to check them out, if you like what you see, use our discount code down below. Save yourself some money. Support our channel at the same time, which would be awesome. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.